So as a trader, you're primarily a risk manager. You should always be focusing on what your risk is. This is especially true when you get into a position. Obviously, you're looking at what your risk to reward is. As you enter into that position, you have an absolute exit where you know you're going to get out if the stock trades against you. But even as it trades in your favor, you should always be constantly analyze your risk to reward. At a certain price, it's a little more favorable to be flat the position than to continue holding it. If you're in a position because you spotted a buyer and he's buying up along the way, as soon as that buyer drops, you should be ready to get out of your position and get flat, because your risk to reward just isn't the same anymore. Another big key is patience. Patience is huge to being a profitable trader. When you first start, you're going to be super excited. You're going to want to trade every setup that you see, but not all of them work with the same consistency as others. A couple of them work much more consistently for your style, for your personality, for how you trade. Your key in your first couple of years is figuring out what works for you. You need to figure out what works for you and do that constantly. It's very tempting to sit in front of your computer all day and see every little tick in any stock that you're trading and say, oh, I could have made money here, I could have made money there. But if that's not your setup, that's not going to be your go-to play. And when you don't have your go-to play and you're playing too many of these trades, you're not giving yourself the opportunity, and you're expending mental energy on setups that you shouldn't be expending mental energy on. Above all things, you have to focus on making one good trade at a time. No matter what your P&L is, no matter how your day is going, if you focus on making one good trade at a time, you're going to trade well. If your bread and butter is buying into support and buying into pullbacks, you have to focus on making sure that you get in at the great entry points, that you manage your risk well, that you know that you have a detailed plan, that you know exactly what's going to happen no matter what happens in the stock. If the stock trades lower, you know where you're going to get out. If the stock trades higher, you know where you're going to get out. A lot of times when people get into a hole, they stop making these one good trades. They start going for taking that shot, trying to take a gamble to make all their money back in one play. But the fact of the matter is, when you're making money and you're trading really, really well, that's not what happens. You're making one good trade, you follow that up with one good trade, and you follow that up with one good trade. And after doing a couple of these good trades, they all add up, and that's what a good day is.